What do you feel like is the biggest difference in the way the team plays when you took over for them last year to what you've seen in this preseason?
But I think the biggest difference is that hopefully the guys are a little bit more clearer with the principle of play that we are working towards. Last year, especially when you take over during the season, there is always an element of adaptation. Even though I knew the boys really well, they knew me, but in a different role, and they were trained to play certain situations, certain principle of play differently. And so to adapt for the boys is not always easy, and it takes a little bit of time. This is how you, as human beings, we learn and we develop. So hopefully with time and with the preseason behind us, the biggest difference is that they should be clearer about what we want to achieve with the ball and without the ball.
How easy or difficult? I mean, you guys got immediate results last year when you took over, but how easy or difficult was it to get buy-in from the squad in terms of this drastic change and making sure that you get that kind of reciprocation from the rest of the squad?
I always felt a good vibe working with the guys. It was even as an assistant, I love the group of players, and I said that many times. And so that put me under a lot of pressure, especially from myself, because I see that the boys, they tried to accommodate my ideas, and they were trying. And so I could not complain about anything that they were trying to do. Sometimes things work well. Sometimes, obviously, there is questioning, like it should be. But most of the times, I felt really at ease to work with the boys. And again, this year the same, with a very good coaching staff group that pushes the boys on a daily basis, and the boys respond. So I have to say that I'm really, really happy with them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, Carol?
Good morning, Christian. There's a nickname floating around for you too. Have you heard it yet?
No, but I was wondering what's yours.
Oh, I'm boring.
Woody called you Carol, and I was expecting something new now.
I get like mama, at home. So that's all I got.
Okay.
But the one I'm hearing from you is Laddie Daddy. How about that?
Laddie Daddy? Wow.
Yeah, from one of your female fans. So
okay.
There you go.
I really don't know what to say.
Well, I guess we'll use it every once in a while if we need to lighten the mood after a loss or something. So,
yeah. I think after a loss, I'm gonna be destroyed.
Okay.
Not the lyrical.
Okay. After a big win, 5-goal victory, we'll pull out the Laddie Daddy.
Okay.
So I know Willie P didn't ask you this, so I'll go ahead. I know you're not going to want to tell us your lineup, but with a guy like Tuiloma, given the position he plays, his experience, what you guys need, are you tempted to run him out there for 90 minutes at this point, this early?
Listen, Carol, Bill, the good thing about Bill is that he knows the league. He was already training with Portland. Portland is a team that me personally I've always admired. Since I was in New York City, they managed to play a football that makes it difficult for the opposition. And I respect that. And I think that everybody that is trained, especially by Gio now, even before with Caleb Porter, but with Gio now, I think that they have this solidity that I've always liked and admired. And so he comes from that culture. He was training. And the great thing is about Bill that he came and he adapted. He's another one. All the guys that they are here, it seems like a cliche because I said it for Enzo, I said it for Ash, but it looks like that they've been here for, I don't know, 5 years. Because they arrive, they adapt quickly, they become, favorite within the group, I think. And Bill also has a great personality, which I really like. He can speak French, unfortunately, with the Marseillaise accent. When you work for Nice, Marseille supporter, they don't make any discount for you. So, but it's okay. I'm just joking. I think it's Marseille is a great club and is a great team. You know, always challenge to play against them. But Bill, you know, also the fact that he can speak French and he immediately that created an extra layer of you know, closeness with proximity with Adil, with Malanda. So he's certainly in the contention. He's certainly in the contention. He trained and he didn't look out of place at all. He looks like that he was with us since preseason, since the beginning of preseason, Bill.
Okay. And also, can you give us shed any light on what's going on with Melo?
Vinny received, it was like a chest injury that we are monitoring. Nothing major, I believe, but it's something that we need to get the green light from the doctors, and we take every injury to our players very seriously, as you know. And so we don't want to leave. It's a very, very long season. We have to make sure that the boys, when they do the recovery moment from injuries, they are looked after in the best possible way, 100%. For this reason, I have to wait from what the doctor said to me. Vinny is with us in the meeting outside on the pitch, even though he didn't take part in training yet. But I think it's not going to be something that will keep him out for long. The only thing that I can say that we need to keep monitoring him and respect what the doctor said to us. But again, nothing major.
Did he take a knock to the chest?
Yeah, I think so. I think he took a knock to the chest, but again, I saw him. He went to see the doc, and the first news we got back, he was very positive. But there is a certain procedure that we need to respect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mikael?
Hey, how are you today?
Good morning. Good morning. Good. You?
Good, good. I don't have any nicknames.
You think you don't?
I don't think so.
About nicknames. So I also thought that I didn't have any, but
some people, when they see me play, they call me Pele, but I didn't make that up.
Okay.
But yeah, how much of an impact has a player like Westwood made on the team so far with his set pieces and passes and stuff like that?
Yeah, Ashley has made a big impact. The football part that you are referring to, the set pieces, the passing, is part of his ability as a player. But first and foremost, he made an impact as a man in the changing room. He's a guy that very experienced, has been a very, very good pro in what it is maybe the best league in the world at the moment. And he was a constant presence in that league for many years, being captain of the teams also in which he played, which tells you, and to be a captain in Premier League is not easy. I can assure you that, unless you have certain characteristics. So he has made a big impact. He's quite an humble guy, very intelligent. He's not flashy at all. So he's one of those guys that arrives and he goes under the radar. Maybe not here because he comes with this reputation from Premier League, but he's a guy that normally, you notice his presence constantly on a daily basis, which what I like, consistency in our players, not just to do well or to be happy one day in the changing room and the next day you are moody. He's a guy that made a big impact for that. He's consistent and always training at the high standards, demand high standards from the players, but in a nice way, with a lot of, he's very warm. He's a very warm person, and obviously he's got all the characteristics technically and tactically that you were referring, and even more than that, because he's a hard worker as well. He's not just a guy that can pass the ball and he runs a lot as well.
All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, I think I see Jess.
Hey, Christian, when you look back at preseason as a whole, what stands out to you as your most positive attributes as a team? We
had a very good preseason, and there are different moments that I can refer to. Obviously, the games, they're always a big moment because you can see the work that you are doing, if it's actually happening or not, or in how the boys understand what we are trying to do and they put it in practice. But I have to say that I really love this preseason. You know, considering I want to put on brackets what happened with, obviously with Anton, this is something that is going to be always with us. And as I said many times, Anton is my special assistant, and on a daily basis, I refer to him and I have my internal dialogue with him. But the boys, it was a very eventful preseason, but on a daily basis, they have been great. They have been great. And so every day, at least every day, there is an highlight on how they were, working, how they were coming together, how they were training, how they play the games. I really enjoyed how they play each game. And I could see a progression in them. Sometimes the result didn't reflect what they actually produced. And even though we had quite positive results in the whole, but I think that and that's a testament of how well they've done, that even when they were winning few times or even drawing against good oppositions, very good opposition, or winning, they came out not happy. So that's for me is a testament of how ambitious they are, but also rightly, because they always produced chances in every game we played, in every half. And so to come out of the pitch that you have a very positive result and to be not happy, that tells me that they are in a good place.
Absolutely. And just one more from me, in terms of the fact the home opener, the first game of the season's at home, how brilliant is that for you as a team to play in front of an incredible crowd as your first game?
Yeah, this is really good. This is really good. Jess is a great motivator for us, but every game here is great. It's not just the first one. Obviously, the first one, he set the tone, at least for the supporters, that they want to go back and to leave this party atmosphere that they created. We want just to provide fuel for them, and we want them to really be proud of the team, how the boys played with energy, with intensity, with quality. This is our aim, to make our crowd really happy and proud. This is our aim always, and to have them around for the first game is just special for us.
Thanks so much. See you Saturday. Good luck.
Saturday. Thank you.
I see Steve. Is that Steve next? I believe.
I'm ready to go if you are.
Steve, good morning.
Buongiorno, Christian.
Buongiorno, Steve.
We spoke after the Birmingham game, and I was just wondering if the defensive lapses, Agudelo alone at the far post for the goal at the end of the first half, and then the through ball to the kid who was just on trial with Birmingham, was that a topic of conversation in training this week?
Yeah, it was. It was, and because we played the first goal, we play soft, and it can be kind of it can be understandable that the boys are 3-0 up, and we play. Actually, everything started that we had the ball, we had the throw in, and we played really soft, thinking the half is over. So we played the ball, and there was this kind of disconnection that happened that I didn't like, because we said many times that the game is over when the referee blow the whistle, not before. Sometimes you have to play 95 minutes, sometimes 100, as we saw in the World Cup. And so because it looked like that we go in the changing room, and the last thing always is the thing fresh to the memory. So we played a great first half where we should score maybe at least 4, because Camila had a great chance as well, and we had other ones. And then we go, and and then the boys are going in the changing room really angry. And I said to them that let's get it out of the way as the first thing we're going to talk about, because that cannot overshadow the good first half that you produced, going really early in the game 3-0 up and producing chance after chance. But this tells you how fragile a team, the balance of each team, football team can be. Even if we look at Liverpool, last year it was the quintessence of the team that everybody's taken as an example. And then the year after, for whatever reason, things can go differently, and we are talking about one of the top maybe 5 clubs in the world. So that is always a big reminder for us that we need to play every single minute, at least focus. It's difficult to play every single action at your best, but you have to put focus in what you do, because the minute you put the guard down, you get punished. And it happens again in the second half, where we made 4 big mistakes in a row for the second goal. But again, we started talking that, but we created 22 chances, and the Birmingham created 5. This is the numbers of the game. So we created 22 chances, and the result is 3-2. So that tells you that, I don't want to be here and talk about, only the receiving end, because on the opposite side, we produced 22 chances. That is really difficult. And Birmingham Legion, for me, is a good team. It might not be an MLS team, but it's a good team with very good players that they were very good in MLS, starting with Agudelo. They play also for the national team. So we have to respect that, and also respect the fact that the boys created 22 chances against such an opposition. So, but you're right, Steve, that we need to analyze what we need to improve. That's for sure, and we spoke about that in frank terms. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I thought that you might. And you also mentioned the somewhat more towards the psychology of this team, understanding that they can score 3 goals, but they could also score 4, 5, and 6. To have that mentality to keep the pressure on, to keep the hammer down, and score convert more of those 22 opportunities that they had. Yeah,
I mean, it's not always easy. It's not. We know that to create chances and to score goals is not the same. But the most important thing for me in a team is to create chances, and obviously to minimize the one that you concede. This is the graal of each football coach. It's a very difficult formula. You want to maximize your attacking play and minimize the attacking play of the opposition. But our boys do a good job of creating chances, of playing with the intensity and energy. I just want them to get more reward for the work that they do. And I don't want to be arrogant to say that we are going to score 3, 4, 5 every game, but to create chances, yes. And I want them to, when we create, to convert more, and to be really focused on stopping the opposition from taking advantage of us being high on the pitch and try to create chances. Because as we saw even last year, we conceded some goals in counterattack that can happen, and this is the other side of the coin. But I am prepared to take the risk as long as we create chances.
Do you feel that hunger is there for them to go, for not just converting the chances, but also going for the clean sheet? Because if they never score, you'll never lose.
No, sure. No, the anger is there. I can tell you that, Steve, that the players are really focused. But theoretically, it's always easy to comment and to say, if you create a lot and not concede, at least. And I am from a country that defensively we are really drilled since we are young about the importance of not conceding. And so for me, this is important. But to not to concede and to create is really hard. So at some point there has to be a balance of risk, and I prefer more to play, creating, and then sometimes take risks at the back, because I think that this is the identity that we want to have here, to play attractive football and to try to create as many chances as possible.
Great, va bene. Molto grazie. Thank you.
Prego. Thank you, Steve.
All right, last 2 for this will be Antonio, and then I believe I see Caleb.
Hi, Christian. Good morning. Good to talk to you again.
Good morning, Antonio.
When you watch film from New England, what impresses you the most from them?
Many things, solidity that they have, quality of the players that they have in all position. They have a roster that is full of quality in every position. It's not by chance that they, I think, ran away with the MLS Supporters Shield just 2 years ago. Let's not forget that. And most of the players that they were there, they are still there. So the quality of the team is in this league is second to none. But we also, you know, we are thinking how we can upset the structure and how to play our game. We want to play, we respect them, but at the same time we want to play our game, and we don't want to talk too much about the opposition, because the risk is that you lose a little bit side of your identity. So the opposition, we paid attention to them. We spoke about them defensively, offensively. We talk about the individual players that they have, but at the same time, they have to focus on our game.
Right. You talked about counterattacks. Have you done something different on defensive transitions to stop conceding those chances that you mentioned?
Yeah, we have been working on that, and there are different ways that you can do that with proactive defending when you are high, with how you manage when you are in a mid block, and how you have to defend when you are in the last third. So we have done the work. The boys did the work really well on that during the week. We watch video. We watch what we should have done better against Birmingham Legion, and you know, it's always like that, Antonio. You work on something, and then what you haven't worked, because you cannot work on every single thing in the week. There is just not enough time. So, but when you focus on something, immediately what you haven't focused get forgotten a little bit. But it is always in each, not just in football, but I spoke with all the coaches obviously in our sport, in different sport, and this seems to be the case. So, but we've refreshed many things this week.
And last one from me, your fullbacks in your system play in a very unique way. We have seen that from last season, you know, using them a little bit closer to the center of the field rather than playing super wide. Is that to create your wingers more space, or have just an extra passing option maybe in the midfield? What are you expecting from your fullbacks in this model?
But in our model of the game, I said to the boys, and I repeated this to some of you in the press, is that for me, everybody is important. Really important, but to build the play, so even the goalie, and then everybody's important when we defend, also the number 9s and the number 10s, so everybody, and the wingers. So the fullbacks, they play a crucial role, because they have to help us to build, but also to give solidity in transitions. Because sometimes if you have them very wide, if you lose the ball while you are building, that can happen. They might be in an awkward position to defend. So we need to be able at the same time to build and not to be too open, but use them in a way that can serve a purpose. And I think that they are pretty clear. And I think we are lucky to have our fullbacks, that they are pretty smart guys, and that they understand how to position themselves. But obviously they also need to defend. When it comes to the moment, they have to be able to defend crosses, 1v1s, and so both.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Christian.
Thank you, Antonio.
All right, last one to Caleb.
Hey, Christian. My nickname's Company Caleb, by the way.
Ah, okay. Why?
Because I do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Anyways, I just got one question for you. How does playing in front of the fans, and this time in front of Anton, motivate the group?
Yeah, Anton is a constant motivation for us. We mention him often. I mention him often to the boys, reminding him how he would have thought of certain things, even when we do certain things silly, he would have been the first one to laugh or sometimes getting excited or angry if we don't do things. Anton is a guy that always, I remember, he wanted to do things always well at the first time. And sometimes I said, Anton, come on, you have to give time. And in that he wanted to be like, he said, no, but I'm a perfectionist. So sometimes I say, when things don't go the way I said, do you imagine what Anton would have said? And the boys, they always have a smile. It's a way of keeping him with us because he's a constant presence for us and he's a positive presence as well. Again, the fans for us are a big motivation, and we are blessed to have them. It's a great community here in Charlotte. I can see that the passion for football here is really surprised me. But it was more down my ignorance than anything else. But I didn't expect that. I expect that there was some support, but not to this extent. And the boys really love to play in front of the supporters. I think they said it. They said it publicly. They said it privately. I know they mentioned that to me, even in conversation over a coffee or something. I know that they really enjoy to play in front of our supporters.
Great. Thank you so much. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Christian. And just real quick, ticket update. We're over 60,000 for Saturday. So we will see you guys all there on Saturday evening. See you guys.
Bye, Lottie Daddy.